We dive into our first session of the day, the Palm EEMA session, the Indian Event Industry Market, Impetus from the latest sound, light, and display technology, immersive and experiential trends driving large-scale events.
Very quick show of hands. Can we know a quick check on where are you from? What is it that you'd like us to talk about? We've got some things in mind, but it'll be helpful if we know what you want to listen to, and then we tweak our conversation around that. So a very quick round of, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm from here, and this is what I'd like to know about. Starting with you. Can we have a mic in the audience?
Yeah.
I think you need to give some additional mics over here, over there. Both.
Yes. Let's just circulate a couple of mics in the audience, please.
So I just want to learn something about the event management and all that. Because we are a production company basically. My husband takes care of that. I'm planning to enter into the event field. So I just want to know what it is and all that.
Priya, thank you. It's great to see a woman here who's going to be in that realm, and we'll do our best to kind of help you at least get an overview and welcome you into the industry.
Thank you
as
so
EEMA
much.
and beyond. Can you pass the mic, please?
Hi, myself Pumori. So I'm coming from Coimbatore again, and we already have an event management company running in Coimbatore. So I thought I saw this topic from latest stage and light display technology, how we are going to collaborate with the events. So and these two are my brothers. They are just interning in the event industry, so they are emerging to learn things, whatever is coming up.
So we'll try to cover all the topics, like when our session starts, that how the tech part, the event part, and the other part of it. I think
Yes, we will. Should we just...
I think we should roll.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome everyone, and the idea, like you beautifully said, is today to talk about how as agencies and production houses and tech producers, how do we come together to drive the industry ahead. We all know that the industry is doing really, really well. There are EY reports, there are BMS reports. A very quick fact is that in 2024, 30,000 events happened in about 300 cities in the country. And if that's how much our event industry is growing, it's very important to decide how do we grow this further together. So I'm going to dive right in and talk about the panelists who are here. I know there's been a very brief introduction, but there's Harshal, who's the VP of EEMA West and Director for Rising Events. He's leading from the front in terms of what EEMA is doing in terms of taking the industry forward with all players, whether it is a producing house, a production house, a technology vendor, or agencies. There's Ravi, who's also Joint Secretary for EEMA and the founder, and as he says on LinkedIn, the chief hustler for robust events, creating robust events. Then there's Rahul Soni, who's been in the business for about 23 years, loves rock music, and runs an agency called Hexagon. And then, of course, we've got Dhruv, Davar, the man who loves dressing up well and then creating great experiences for brands as well. And he is the founder and CEO for Inextis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Palm EEMA session on the Indian Event Industry Market with Meghaa, Ghosh, Harshal, Kothari, Ravi, Mehta, Rahul, Soni, and Dhruv, Davar will begin shortly in the Palm Conference Hall 3. Delegates are requested to join us. Thank you.
This is called Almost Brilliant Show Running, where this should have happened probably a few minutes before, but I would say that it's great background score to what we just started to do. So yeah, like I was saying, there's Dhruv Davar, who runs Inextis and is doing a lot of work in the exhibitions, corporate, and multiple other industries and avenues. So to start off with, I think why don't you all just do a summary of how the year was and what have been the biggest growth drivers for business, and then we'll get into collaborations. So, Dhruv, do you want to start? Because I want Harshal to talk from an EEMA perspective, and then he can kind of
Dhruv,
summarize.
You're right there. It starts with you. I think it starts with you.
Hi. So I think it was a phenomenal year. I think last year the industry overall has grown tremendously. The biggest growth drivers I feel have been government spends. I think that's increased a lot. I think the surplus income that the middle class today has I think, and post-pandemic, the shift has happened towards people spending on experiences. So, which is why you see concerts growing so much, which has been fab. I think for all of us who've experienced this, that in the month of December, Jan, Feb, you don't get your partners, you know, because they're busy with concerts, which is both good and bad. I think now we're kind of getting used to it. But when it started, we were like a shock. They said, oh, we were blocked a month back. So I think you can see the industry growing in all sense. Weddings have grown so much. So I think it's been a really phenomenal year for the industry at large. And I think it's only going to grow from here further with literally every aspect of the live business growing. You know, whether you talk about, like I said, weddings, corporates, government, MICE, it's only going to grow.
Thanks, Dhruv. Rahul, you want to just kind of take on from there?
Yeah, so I echo what Dhruv said. It's been a phenomenal year for the industry and all the spaces in the event space, whether it is live, concerts, corporate, weddings, government jobs. And yeah, I mean, post-COVID, if you see, there has been a surge in the spends of every, every client. And the purchasing power of, I think, of Indians has drastically increased, which is also leading to, better experiences. Like, I mean, just going offbeat, even if you see, you have the top-class restaurants opening in our country, which is echoing the spending power that people have. And people are looking at experiences. And it's a great opportunity for us as in the experiential space to explore this opportunity and, sort of take this forward. I mean, just a case in point, last night I read somewhere that Universal is opening a park in India, which is a great thing. So I feel the time for India has arrived and it just goes onwards and upwards from here.
Thanks, Ravi.
I agree with Dhruv and Rahul, of course. Post-COVID, things have opened up differently. Brands are spending now, but spending on experiences more than just a branding per se of it. I mean, the paradigm shift from brand visibility to brand awareness to brand knowledge has completely changed. Pre-COVID, there came a saturation where people were just spending. Post-COVID, now they are careful. Now they're vigilant about the place and the people and the position they're spending at. That's a huge shift that's happened. So I would not say last 1 year, but last 3 years have been a different market altogether.
And it's a good one. Absolutely good one. Yeah. Harshal, you talk from not just being a business driver, but also what you're doing with EEMA.
We'll talk on both the parts. So just adding to what they said, India is a young country. The 25 to 35 years population we have enormous, and they are the biggest spending powers right now. Today we were just discussing at the press conference also. There was a time where people used to think to spend 2,000 rupees behind a ticket for a concert, and today we are spending 8,000 rupees to ₹1.5 lakh for per ticket. So that is the kind of growth what we got it. The main drivers which are there, the tech has increased.
The PAM EEMA session on the Indian event industry market with Meghaa, Ghosh, Harshal, Kothari, Ravi, Mehta, Rahul, Soni, and Dhruv, Davar will begin shortly in the PAM conference hall number 3. Delegates are requested to join us. Thank you.
I now feel like we're at an airport.
We have started.
We are at an airport now.
So also the driver has been, the tech has increased. We have a good tech available. We have the good engineers available. Now it's no other time which is there where we are importing the material for doing the shows in India. So that is where the transition. As EEMA, it has become an associate which is now matured enough compared to what it was. Now we have a body which is collectively working, not only in Mumbai and Delhi, but every corner of the country. Every pockets are being covered well, wherein all the initiatives, right from the education initiative to the networking initiative to the demand and supply requirement initiatives are being taken care. And because of EEMA, the reach of the people have increased to the interiors also, where people are looking forward to do events all over. Today, we all are covering multiple cities. And simply on a call of one of the EEMA members, we are getting the support, we are getting the tech. On demand, the people in interiors are buying the materials as per the requirement what the metro needs it. So that's what I have to take on that.
The true power of network, I think, is what EEMA is really bringing
I mean,
alive.
network is one power. At the same time, education is also the second part. We are trying to educate people. They are also wanting to upgrade since we are communicating with them. They know what our expectations are. So till the time we don't communicate what the expectations are, how would they upgrade it?
No, definitely. I'm going to dive a little deeper now in terms of the ecosystem that we're currently present at. And, like we had Priya talk about coming from Coimbatore and, other people. I know that, it is a very, very important partnership to have vendors and agencies as experiential strategists and creative minds to work together to create experiences that continue to put India on the map. So what would you consider as the biggest challenge, and I'm talking focus on infrastructure, hardware, and from those aspects, as the biggest challenges that you would see that need to be addressed, in creating a better working collaboration together? Any one of you can kind of...
So I think the biggest challenge that I feel is people upskilling. That's the biggest challenge that I see while the industry is mixed and divided. You have some players who have, very well trained manpower. But the industry at large, I think, gives that a miss. While they may have the best of the equipment available, but investment in people training is something which is, and when I say people training, it's not only about the technical aspect of the training, but also soft skills and, that kind of aspects, which I feel is kind of lacking. That's my view.
Got it. You want to add something to that, Dhruv, because you were sharing a very interesting anecdote about the LED.
So I'll come to that. I just want to kind of write down a few. I was writing down a couple of things, when he was also talking. I think also this needs to be kind of defined, right? Upskilling needs to be defined, right? I think the talent is not as much as a problem as much as the translation is, right? I feel that, so let's say, when we were discussing, all of us were discussing last evening that, when you are here, right, the brief that probably goes out to a light person is, okay, there's a conference, aap idhar light laga dena, right? I think we want our partners to kind of know the mood of the room, right? So talent exists, right? And when we talk about upskilling, that's a very broader term, right? What the idea for us is that, can you also understand our pain points and, know where we are coming from instead of just us trying to dumb it down and say, acha, nahi, itna light. The production team plans, job is light, job is sharpie, itna, and the person gets it and then they decide what to do with it, right? So I think the translation is a problem. I think, so that also begs the question of an ownership mindset. I think the partners also equally need to own the event as much as the agencies do, right? Because as agencies, we are sometimes spending, I don't know, from 100 to 200 days before an event comes to life, right? Sometimes even more. But for the partners, it's more like, acha, aaj 4 setup hai, kal 5 setup hai, etc., which is completely understandable, which is how the business works, right? And that's okay. And God willing, one should do more. But at that moment, you need that ownership mindset. Like, it's not about, acha, because my inventory was kept there and it was late and hence is my reason of delay of the setup. Nobody cares. I have a different client. Okay, they've paid me. I've paid you for my show. So I think ownership mindset is the other thing. And I think एक और जगह पे जहाँ पे upskilling can happen is, like I was saying, that understanding the creative landscape of a show. Not just coming there and saying, okay, this is light, this is sound. Like, the sound guy should understand lighting a little. The lighting guy should understand, can I sync it with my sound? And in turn, the LED, right? If an LED is curved, why is it curved? It's not just about come and make your presentation. And I think last thing that I would want to address is that one of the challenges that we face is that, there's a mindset in the industry that says, I'll fix it on the ground, right? वहाँ पे देख लेंगे, right? I think there should be a lot of planning and pre-planning before you go on the ground. That will really make your agencies feel very, very comfortable. And I think that's the part that In terms of the gap, I would say that that is something I would like to kind of mention.
I think we all resonated so deeply with that "wahan par dekh lenge" aspect. I could see Ravi smile, Harshal smile, a coy smile there with Rahul. But Ravi, would you like to add something to this?
I think Dhruv pretty much covered it, but adding up to it, our supply chain needs to have a sense of excitement when they're doing the job for us. Like if you spend 100 days making that one, it's just not another mundane task. Come, put the equipment and get away. We are excited, we are happy, we are actually looking forward to have that thing on ground now. For last 100 days, we see only that on screen. Design shaping up, the things changing. It cannot be another mundane task on the site.
Very beautifully said, Ravi. I think the emotional aspect of realizing a vision is what you're talking about. And, suppliers are as integrally involved in something that we are delivering together as a collective.
It's not my dream. It's our dream that's supposed to go on ground. And as event manager, every event for us is a dream. It's different from the last one. It's supposed to be that way for everyone on ground. One. Second, upskilling, educating, of course, they covered it nicely. People need to understand that they are responsible for their own jobs, and that's about it. That would sort probably everything for us.
So one more thing, what you just spoke about the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, those two markets are precisely focusing more on the social events and weddings. The challenge, what they are also internally facing, that they don't have too much of exposure to the corporate part of it. The good part is now at least the live shows and the concerts are happening. So if they don't upgrade, they won't be able to recommend what they can do it. They can't deliver. So that's also one more challenge. So, I would say it's both the ways that, not much of the corporate events are happening, the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And that is the reason they're not able to upgrade to the level what we are expecting. The focus is more on the live shows and the social event shows.
But Harshal, I'm going to ask you to talk, in brief about one more thing, because at EEMA, especially with soft skills, etc., the Future Ready series, the Warehouse series, are initiatives where we are focusing on elevating skill sets for people. So if you can talk a little about that as well.
So under EEMA, nationally, we have made it as an agenda, education committee is being formed. At the same time, all the 4 zones are working to make sure that we educate in all the sectors of the industry to each and every, from the base level employee to the ownership. We are doing some of the series under Future Ready series. We just did an AI workshop where how to use the AI tools and how to create the content via the AI tools, how to do hands-on experience. We just did it 2 weeks back. Now we are doing the legal workshop, making understanding the legal challenges that may be IPR, the MSME challenge, recovery via MSME, or a civil or a criminal cases into the event industry. What is the solution for that? We are also doing some workshop for the ownership and CXO level in the month of July. So we are making sure that we keep on educating and we keep on upgrading the industry on and on. So that's what we want to do it. And I would request everybody in the hall over here to be a part of this initiative. It is open for EEMA and non-EEMA members also. So be a part of it, educate yourself, educate your team, and that's where the upgradation of the industry or the upscaling of the industry can happen.
Thanks so much for that. And that's something that, I'd urge everybody to also go and look up. Before I kind of ask about a specific collaboration question, I want to know, is there any interesting anecdote that you'd like to share which talks about how, as agencies, you've partnered with vendors to create something or deliver something which otherwise seemed impossible to do? Whether it was acquiring something or, creating an experience.
So, pre-COVID, we were doing an event in the Czech Republic, and it was a large setup. And strangely, some 12 people from my team were traveling. सिर्फ 2 का वीज़ा आया. 10 लोगों का वीज़ा ही नहीं आया. Okay, and we are flying out tonight, and we are keeping our fingers crossed till like 10 p.m. We'll get a news from the visa agency that it's come through, but it didn't come through. At that time, I called up 3 suppliers whom we work with regularly, okay? And believe it or not, the owners who are big guys in our industry voluntarily said, ticket karwa do, hum aa jayenge. So they actually came. One of them ran the sound console, one of them ran the AV console, and one of them ran the lights console, and the show went on flawlessly. Obviously, the client knew that the visas have not come, but he was surprised the way we pulled it off. So, you know, that kind of collaboration really helps. And of course, the challenge was you're working with an overseas vendor. They have a different way of working. We have a different way of working. Our clients have a very different way of working, and their demands are unreasonable. So the way, you know, that sort of relationship brought things together was kind of amazing. So eventually it went off well, but yeah, I mean, had it not been, you know, the supplier partners standing behind us that night, maybe it would have been a different story.
No, but that's an incredible one because ours is such a people-driven business and a relationship business. And I think this is testament to the fact that when we come together as true partners and not just as agencies and vendors, we can pull off anything. And these are India stories, true India stories. Yeah, Dhruv. Go on, yeah, why not?
No, so I think, see, every project we're able to execute because there's a strong partnership, right? Everything that we think of innovating really then on the D-Day depends upon our partners to be able to execute it flawlessly, right? So I want to talk about a couple of things. So, you know, one, I mean, I have a little reverse anecdote to what happened to us very, very recently. But before that, I must kind of address the fact that I think what Rahul said that, you know, most of the times, almost every time, we've seen our partners stand up with us, right? So that literally goes without saying. And I remember once I was hearing Roshan Abbas and he said, okay, we were doing IPL and it rained cats and dogs, right? And Devinder ji was standing there and he said, listen, jo hoga equipment ko dekh lenge, let the show go on, right? So I think there are enough and more examples of that. For us, what happened very, very recently was actually quite the reverse, wherein, so, you know, we were pitching for an exhibition, but there's a huge learning in that. And, you know, we pitched like a complete round LED, which is a sphere, we were calling it. And we pitched and, you know, our teams had spoken, had seen at other places. We didn't think it'll be a big deal to procure it, right? So, you know, with God's grace, we got the project also. And now the journey starts to acquire that sphere. Apparently, we realized that nobody really has it around, okay, especially in Bombay. And so what happens is that we then start doing this research and we thought, okay, chalo, Bombay mein nahi milega, Delhi mein mil jayega, etc., etc. And we start doing this research, okay, and we realized that actually nobody has it. Recently, a couple of people have acquired it, but even then, even those guys don't have the kind of size that we were looking at. So we were really in shock, right? Now we're very, very close to the exhibition. And we realized that nobody has it. We said, okay, it's you know, we've tried everything that we could. We actually now spoke to one of our partners and we said, okay, we're going to talk to your partners in China. And I remember me and, you know, the core team got on a call with a Chinese vendor and we wanted to buy it. You know, we want to invest 60 lakh rupees to buy that sphere, which probably would have been a waste, but it was our commitment to our client. I mean, the good thing is that a lot of vendor partners were helping us. They said, okay, you procure it on our import, you know, the registration, etc. So that was great. But at the same time, we realized that how come people don't have this inventory, right? Because we've been seeing in rounds and then 1-2 people have it also as a much smaller size. And then somebody connected us to a vendor partner in Hyderabad who said, listen, I'm procuring this for a personal event. I'm getting 6 of these. Why don't you rent it out from me? You know, mine are on the way. And, you know, then we were kind of finally able to execute that project. But the huge learning for me there was that, and I would really want to say this, that the exhibition landscape in India is changing. You know, we as an agency did 4 exhibitions. Me and Harshal collaborated at India Energy Week. So, you know, you really need to invest in the right tech, and you need to be bold to invest into technology that is different and new. No more the same thing. If you take another LED, you're competing with the cost, which is went from 300 to 250 to 225, 200 to 150 to any cost today. But it is about being bold, and also once you invest in it, please make sure that you are reaching out to the agencies and telling them that you have it, because we don't know this year when we are pitching for those clients what should we offer them new, because we literally gave them everything that we could. In fact, we had one of the stalls in India Energy Week wherein we had so much LED that most of our partners said we don't have this much LED. The entire booth was LED. We couldn't get a partner. Like all our regular Bombay partners said we don't have so much inventory. So then we had to work with somebody for the first time. We had our challenges. So I think investing and not taking Indian market lightly and investing in more innovative technologies should be the way forward.
Thanks, Dhruv. Harshal, do you want to add something?
I
to
agree
that?
with Dhruv's point that most of the vendor partners, the inventories they are having plenty, but they never connect with the people. And EEMA becomes one platform where everybody can at least come and showcase as to what they have as the inventory. I would like to give one example, and I mean, we did the election campaign for the current year and 5 years back also. So in the campaign, we initially took 16 trucks from Mumbai doing multiple locations in Maharashtra. Then we realized that, why we carrying so much of material and increasing our cost. So we had few vendor partners in all the location. We told them that, I'm ready to invest 50% into your inventory. We'll give you as advances. And why don't you get the hangers and everything? Because at that time, 5 years back, the rains were on till November. And we were doing Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha, both the campaigns. And they said, we always dreamt of buying the hangers, but we didn't have the funds and we didn't knew how to get the funds. So we invested into their inventory and we adjusted against the event, and they were more than happy to invest the balance 50% from their pocket, and we made sure we got the inventory. So this for current season, when we did the election campaign, the same vendors, they provided the same material what we bought 5 years back, and this year campaign happened off. So the partnership worked off very well. It was not just for one of the event, but even for the campaign which happened after 5 years. So that's the kind of partnership what we were able to get it, and we were competitive because the other agency were not able to match the price what we were being offered, because they gave us a special price because of the money what we invested 5 years back.
No, and it's another fantastic example of how together you're elevating the ecosystem. It's such a fantastic example of that.
So that's what they also upgraded. They used to use superstructure, which were metal based, and we gave them the aluminum German structures. So automatic the safety part, quick fabrication which was happening compared to the traditional meat. So it benefited us also. It benefited the delivery to the clients also. So they also felt upgraded कि अरे भाई गाँव के अंदर भी ये होता है. So that's what the upgradation we were able to get it at that time.
Fantastic. I think I'm going to move towards closing remarks, and in that I'd like each one of you to talk about challenges, opportunities, not challenges actually, more opportunities and possibilities, so that there is a concrete takeaway on what can the people in the audience and the community really do to kind of have more such success stories. So any one of you can please start off.
So I see this PAM as one of the opportunities for us at EEMA and as a community as well. With so many vendor partners, suppliers, tech owners being here, if there's so much of new things coming, there's so many new things being launched at PAM every year, why can't this be showcased at EEMA level or at community level, where people are aware, educated about new stuff? While I'm walking in, I saw 4 new things and I didn't know they exist in the country. If that can be showcased on EEMA platform or a community level, some event, all of us are educated, we enable ourselves to sell better, and overall ecosystem gets better in that entire bargain. So the opportunity is, with so much being lying here, let's get them all together under one umbrella and let's learn, all of us together.
That's great. Harshal, you want to add? Yeah.
I mean, I buy what Ravi said, that, we need to create the ecosystem where the exchange of ideas, the inventories and everything has to happen. So, I mean, I buy what Ravi said.
Thanks, Dhruv.
I would just end by saying that build experiences and not just inventories. I think I would want to leave with that.
I agree with what Dhruv is saying. So the opportunity is great. The market is huge. The potential is tremendous. We just need to move away from the clutter. Get those unique products, as I would put it, which sort of cut the ice. And you just have to be innovative. Just be innovative. Just figure out the right product mix for you. And I'm sure things will fall in place, because at the end of the day, we as event managers are hungry. We are always looking for the new thing, and we want the new thing because the moment we get it, we're going to sell it to our clients. So I think my view is that just spot the right opportunity and spread it across, spread awareness so that we are aware something like this is available.
Wait, so the only two things which I want to just say before we close it. So we want to announce about 2 events. We just did a Spotlight Awards, last week at Delhi, which is focused purely on the supply chain. So we are felicitating all the industry partners. It may be the AV supplier, or it may be the food services or the bar services, to the artist community. So that's one event. Second is in August, first week, we have Imagine. That's an annual convention, 2025. It's going to happen at the Udaipur Fairmount. So I would request the people who are here to be a part of the convention, which is going to be a 3-day affair. 3-day affair. So I'll just have a quick AV before we, close this session. So, closing remarks from your end, followed by the audiovisual of the Imagine 2025, and I would invite everybody from the community to be a part of it.
Thanks so much, each one of you. And I think in summary, it's just been, like they said, about... Yeah? There's a question? Sorry. Yes, please.
Please, some question and answers if anybody has it.
Yeah.
Please, can you just pass on the mic? Okay, 1 minute. I'll just give it to you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Ashutosh. I am from the... Yeah? Is this better?
Yeah.
So, my name is Ashutosh. I am from the airport industry. Yes, and you have seen the way that Indian airports have changed, and the experience is much better. So, firstly, let me compliment the organizers for capturing the mood and emotion of the nation. Look behind you, Operation Sindoor color is there. The red color that you have captured. Wonderful. And secondly, I don't know how you managed it, but for Palm, great advertisement, generals looking at visuals, audio visual screens, defense industry. So that's a great advertisement for Palm. Audio visuals, the generals are having a on-live session as to how things are happening. So that's a great, I would say, hint as where the audiovisual industry is going. Third thing, we recently took over as the 4th biggest...
Ladies and gentlemen, the session evaluating ROI and essential equipment is scheduled for 1:30 p.m. with Mr. Sachin Subramaniam, Mr. Arvind Singh, Mr. Rajan Gupta, Mr. Kalpesh Ajara, and Mr. Siddharth Chauhan. The session will take place in Palm Conference Hall 3. Thank you.
So not a silent airport, as you can see. So we have taken over as the 4th economy, biggest economy. And and who have we overtaken? Germany. Yeah? I remember going to Germany in 1997 and visiting the Hanover Messe. Hanover, you remember the trade fairs? Huge infrastructures. You land there, I went by car. For acres, there was car parking. They have snow, they have rain, but they manage the shows. Why should we accept this industrial hangar? Are we is this what the 4th largest economy should be portraying? You look at Bangalore BIEC, you look at this. What are these This we should not be accepting. You as an industry should not be accepting these places. I mean, we need larger infrastructure. We need better infrastructure. What is an excuse that we couldn't, we are thankful that we were able to do this show in spite of the weather. We should be able to do at every instance. We should have larger infrastructure. We should have better places. Look at this. Why should we accept this as an industry?
So I buy your point, and just a FYI that the way Geo convention is coming, there are other two conventions which are coming up. Adani is coming up with one, which is around 12 lakh square feet, right? Around 12 lakh square feet, which is coming up at the airport. And at the same time, there's one more coming at Navi Mumbai airport. So there are two convention center which are coming up at the same time. The hangars, what you're watching, they are also going under upgradation. So, I mean, I just spoke to the NESCO guys in September. Hall 1, they are planning to make it pillarless. You have hall number 6, which they have upgraded to make it friendly for the live shows and the concerts. Yes, India is upgrading, but yes, there is a time when there's an X amount of investments which the industry has to put in. Of course, government is not putting in that kind of money. But yes, they have put it into Delhi, Bharat Mandapam, which is being made, which is the event in Hyderabad. You have HICC in Jaipur. You already have one more convention. So all over it's growing, but it can't happen overnight. Yes, there is a plan of government. Government is eventful, and they are working towards that thing.
I'd like to add one thing to it. At EEMA, we have a committee which is working towards national infrastructure development for state-of-the-art venues for hosting live events and corporate events. There's a committee who's working towards a detailed plan. So sooner you will see plans being published, things being happening. Things are changing. I know it's frustrating that we don't have it now, but it will never happen. Not the point.
If I may just add, you need to look up a venue called Terraform in Bangalore, which is a plug-and-play venue and which is, also the first of its kind in the country. So to add to what they're saying, there is a lot of work that's happening on this field already, but realizing it will probably take a little more time in addition to what you're already seeing. But on that note, I'd like to conclude by saying thank you so much, everyone, for being here, all of you. And collaborate.
Any questions, anybody
yes.
by any chance? Any further questions? Done. I think we are done with
We're short on time at this point, but collaborate, communicate. These are the people who are driving the future of the industry. And on that note, thank you. We'll just exit, and then we can have the film that needs to be played, please. After the picture, the film.